Good morning, everybody, and it is Friday. Feel Good Friday, our new Friday assemblies. So we've decided in this lockdown that we're going to change things around a little bit and have some very special assemblies on a Friday. Today, this is a recorded assembly, and I'll explain shortly about how they're going to change in the next few Fridays. But I hope everybody is well. And the first thing I'd like you to do, even if you don't feel like it, is put on a smile. So we've got a lion, an emoji, and a dog all demonstrating our best smile. So let's have them now. Ta-ding! Fabulous. Great. Thank you very much for joining me with your wonderful smiles. Now, our Friday assemblies, we're going to be thinking about these 5 things, and these are called the 5 ways to well-being. So each week when we meet up, we're going to be thinking about connecting with each other. We're going to be active. We're going to be taking notice of the world around us. We're going to be thinking about learning and keeping learning, and we're going to think about how we can give to other people. So this is going to be our theme each week, and you'll see shortly what I mean by each one. So connect. Well, I'm really excited that next week we're going to be connecting with you a little bit more at home in different ways. So you might well recognize these symbols. You probably recognize Zoom, because I know lots of you will have been Zooming with friends and family at some point over either this lockdown or in previous lockdowns as a way of staying in touch. And something that we're going to be using in school with children from year 1 to 6 is something called Google Meet, which is just like Zoom. Now, Mrs. Robinson tried that out today with a small group of children, and we had our very first Surely Google Meet, and it was very exciting to be able to see those children on screen. So next week, we're going to be starting to have some regular connections with you at home. So you'll get a communication today. Your mums and dads will get a parent mail today explaining how it's going to work, and then when we've got everything ready in school, which we just need to install a few little webcams in the classrooms, once those are up and running, then we're going to be connecting with you, and you will be able to log on. So you'll get a little link, and you have to be able to click on that, and then you'll be able to see your teachers in the classroom with some of your friends in school, and hopefully all your friends at home will also connect up, and you'll all be able to have conversations online together. So that's something really exciting. We're planning to have one of those each day in your classes, and there might be some other Google Meets where some of you are going to be doing some individual reading. Reception, you're going to be, instead of using Google Meet, if you're in Pandas, you're going to be having a meet on Zoom, because you're not yet using Google Classroom. But it works in the same way, where you can all connect up from your homes on the screen and have story time together, play games together, talk about the learning together, ask questions, and just different ways of connecting and staying in touch. So we're very excited about that. Now, I'm particularly excited because next Friday we are going to be trying our very first live Feel Good Friday assembly, and we're going to be doing that on Zoom. So next Friday, 2:30 p.m. in the afternoon, and we're going to be connecting up the whole school on Zoom. So those will be the children in the classrooms who are in school who will be joining, and then any of you at home who are free to join us, and we're all going to connect together to think about these 5 ways to well-being together. So I'm very excited about that. Look out for an invitation with the link for our first Feel Good Friday live assembly next week. Now, after Connect, the second way to well-being is being active. And I did, in last week's Values Assembly, talk to you about Joe Wick's workouts and the Get Set for PE family games that you might want to try. And here's some other ideas of being active. So there are some other online things you can do, like online yoga. You can make an action movie. You can learn to juggle. You could create your own dance routines. I don't know whether any of you have been working on your listening to music and dancing, like I told you about James and I doing that. We often have him bouncing around on the bed while I'm dancing in the morning. So we have no secrets anymore, do we? We know, you know all about me and my dance routines. I just haven't demonstrated them yet to you. You might want to build an obstacle course, be skipping. You might be challenging your friends online to some sort of physical challenge, like you can see this in the picture here, someone's doing a kind of keepy uppy. You might want to play balloon games like balloon volleyball. Loads of ideas there for keeping active. And in our next week's assembly, we're going to be doing some ways of keeping active live in the assembly. You will be moving and grooving and keeping active. So you're going to have to join in with whatever comes next week. So I hope you're looking forward to that. I can't wait. The next way to well-being is taking notice. So that's about stopping and noticing what's around you, and just being aware of the world, really. And just in the middle of sometimes when things are really busy and chaotic, it's good to just stop for a minute and to see what's going on around us. And I included this photograph in today's assembly because it could just be, these could just be a load of sticks that are photographed. But I wonder if you can look a bit more carefully. What do you see? Well, I think the person who put all of these sticks together was trying to show that these look like very much like people, like Stickman. And you can see the way that the sticks presented. They look very much like they've got arms and they've got legs, and that they're sort of waving their arms around or running about. So I think that's somebody was taking notice of the world around them and found these sticks and thought, oh gosh, that really does look like a person. So it's about looking and spotting what's around you. Now I'm going to be doing a bit of taking notice and sharing some things that I find, but if you take notice and see things that you'd like to have shared with everybody, then I'd really love to see any photographs of things that you've spotted, either in your home or in your garden or when you go out for a walk. And that brings me on to our little 1 minute challenge. So just something, this isn't about taking hours out of your weekend or out of your day. It's about taking 1 minute to be quiet, to pay attention. If you're at home, you could look outside of your window, watch people nearby, listen to the sounds. You could go out on your garden or go out outside your house. Look for the small things, the details that you will only notice if you're looking for them. I wonder what you can spot just in that 1 minute. Perhaps you could take a photograph of what you spot and send that in, and we can share that in next week's assembly. I'd really like that if you did see anything interesting that you'd like to share, and I'll do the same. Now, the next one of our 5 is keep learning. And this isn't just about do more schoolwork. This is about thinking about keeping our brains active and engaged in different and interesting ways. So it's about picking up a book and enjoying reading for pleasure. It's about perhaps having a go at crosswords and Sudokus and puzzles and games as a way of keeping learning. It's about being curious and finding out more, perhaps doing some research into something that interests you. It could be about learning a new hobby or a new skill. You might want to learn how to cook, for example, or I know some of you did this in the last lockdown, perhaps learn how to ride a bike, although it's a little bit colder now than it was when we were in lockdown before. So it's about keeping learning, but not just cramming more schoolwork in, because I'm sure you're doing plenty of that, but thinking about keeping learning in different ways. And lastly, our number 5 of our 5 ways to wellbeing is to give. And that's about thinking about other people. It could be about volunteering, but at the moment, it's a bit tricky to be going and you can't just knock on somebody's door because we need to stay at home and we need to try and find ways to keep safe during our current lockdown. But there are ways that we could show kindness. And I've got here a photograph saying kindness is a superpower, because I truly believe that to be kind is one of the most important things that you can be, to think of other people. So even in your home, without even walking outside the front door, I wonder how you could be kind. I wonder how you could think about the people at home that you live with. It could be about clearing up without being asked, helping to keep the house tidy. Could you offer to help cook the next meal? Even if it's just collecting things out of the fridge. You might not be trusted with a sharp knife just yet, but you might be able to just help by getting out the ingredients that are needed. I wonder how else you could help around the home. Perhaps doing your work without somebody having to nag you. I'm sure your parents would very much appreciate that. So being kind to your brother or your sister if you do have a sibling. Arguing less. All those things make a big, big difference in our homes, particularly at the moment when we can't really go out and do too much more. perhaps it is about looking out for other people. So in yesterday's assembly, I shared with you the story about John, who received thousands and thousands of Christmas cards because he was going to be alone at Christmas. And even though we're not going to be sending cards to John, who else? I was encouraging you to think about who else you could reach out to and get in touch with. Who else you could phone and see how they are, or write a little letter or a note to. So who might be on their own. So all those things are about giving. So what I'd like to do in each assembly, each week, is to share those great stories of children who do brilliant things. So if I hear about those things, I can share them with everybody. Or it might be that your parents email in and tell me some great things that you've been doing. So even if it doesn't go noticed by everybody and doesn't get shared in an assembly, it doesn't mean it's not worthwhile, and it doesn't mean it's not appreciated. So think about how you could help other people. Now, before we finish today's assembly, and believe you me, next week is going to be far more exciting than me just rabbiting on today, because next week we'll have all of you here live. But we do need to celebrate some birthdays before we head off and enjoy our weekends. So we have, first of all, somebody who since January has turned 6, and that is Eliza in Penguin. So happy birthday, Eliza. Now, in the spirit of our 5 ways to wellbeing and keeping active, I'd like all of you to get up. So I want you to stand up. Hope you're standing up with me. And what I'd like you to do is, because Eliza is 6, we're going to do 6 star jumps. Are you ready? You standing up? You ready? Give yourselves a shake. Ready? And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Great. Well done. Give yourselves a clap. Right. Well done, all of you. Let's keep active, and let's find out who else we're going to say happy birthday to. So we have some children who have turned 7 since January, and those children are George in Sea Turtles, Violet in Sea Turtles, and Alistair in Dolphins. So happy birthday to the 3 of you. And what we're going to do for 7, I think, let's do some reaching into the air 7 times. Are you ready? Give yourselves a bit of a shoulder roll, get yourself ready. And we're going to go up like this, and we're going to go up like this. We're going to do that 7 times. Ready? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well done, and happy birthday. Okay, happy 8th birthday too. We got Minar Hill in Tigers, Bobby in Leopards, and Joseph in Leopards. Happy birthday to you. What can we do for 8? I think we're going to reach across our body. We're going to go across, to stay active like that. And we're going to do that 8 times. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, and 8. Yes, well done, and a happy birthday to our 8-year-olds. Now we've got 2 children who have turned 9 recently, and that's Annabelle in Leopards and Papos in Tigers. So congratulations and happy birthday to you, reaching the grand old age of 9. I said the grand old age, so perhaps we need to do 9 marching, like I just made myself think of the grand old Duke of York. So we need to stand up again, and we're going to do some marching. Are we ready? Ready to march? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Brilliant, and happy birthday to our 9-year-olds. Moving on to people who are getting really ancient now, and we've got Jonathan who in Rhinos, who's just turned 10. So happy birthday to you, Jonathan. What should we do for 10? Let's what shall we do? I think for 10, I'm tempted to have both arms coming up and getting those arms moving again. So we're going to do 10 of those movements. Are we ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And happy birthday, Jonathan. And last but not least, we have our most elderly people who are turning 11. And that's, we've got 2 birthday girls here. We've got Amy in Gorillas and Tallulah in Gorillas, who are turning 11. So happy birthday to you. And I think we'll finish off with some more star jumps. So we've got 11 star jumps to go. Are you ready? Up on your feet. Let's get these star jumps going. 11 of them. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep going. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Give yourself a round of applause. Happy birthday, everybody. I think I might need to lie down now. Well, next week, I'll just give you a little bit of a flavour of some of the things that we're going to be doing next week's assembly. Next week, there'll be more active moving for birthdays, more active moving for some challenges and games. And we're really going to have fun together as we get together as a whole school. Have a great Friday, everybody, and have a lovely weekend.